I'm Nathan Drake from Uncharted 3 Drake's Deception. Wolfkeen cannot be here right now, so that's why I am going to be doing this Wolf's Word. Okay, that was a horrible, horrible attempt at a Nathan Drake impersonation, but hey, I have to try to do something new once in a while, right? Anyways, hurt my voice. Lucky for me, I've got water. But anyways, for real this time, this is Keen47 aka Wolfkeen here, and I forgot to get the game that I'm going to be reviewing. Of course. But anyways, this is A Wolf's Word. Now today on A Wolf's Word, I'm going to be talking about a game which gave me quite a bit of difficulty as I played through. A game which I quit a long time ago, and then I decided to pick it up after I started playing its predecessor, Dark Souls, or is it sequel? Whatever. Anyways, if you haven't realized it, I'm talking about Demon's Souls. I don't know why they called it Demons. Why they go with the ridiculously hard thing to say, I don't know. I think Demon's Souls will be more, I don't know, a better word for it. But I digress. Let's get into the story of Demon's Souls. And God, am I tired. But anyways, let's get into it. As I can see, it's a PlayStation exclusive, so... And as I can see in the back, it's got crazy scores, which is why it's a greatest hit, as you can tell by the red case. Let me get something off my chest. This game is insanely hard. Like, I've played some pretty tough games, including, like, maybe Call of Duty's on Veteran, but... nothing as hard as this. This game was ridiculously difficult to beat. But let's talk about the story. Basically, the land of Boletaria has been cursed, and all these monsters all over the place. The citizens and, people like that have been in Boletaria have been killed, and other stuff like that. Basically, you play as one of these adventurers that are going to Boletaria, and my camera's not straight for the upteenth time. You play as one of these people going to Boletaria, still not straight. On your way to Boletaria, you get killed. Because the first level is a tutorial when you're on your way to the Nexus. But there are two ways to die. You either die on the way to the tutorial, you die on the boss fight, or even if you win the boss fight, you still die. So, either way, you die, you end up being trapped by the Nexus, and then you're told that in order for you to defeat the old one, which is causing this plague to be in Boletaria, you have to defeat the demons that are giving it power. So you have to head to different areas of Boletaria to defeat these demons and then get their power. Well, not get their power. I think it is getting their power, but you have to drain power away from the old one. Once he's weak enough after you defeat all the demons, you can defeat him yourself. Let me say a couple of things. The story of the Demon's Souls is a little difficult to understand because there's a lot of things you don't understand. All I know is that your job is to defeat the old one. But in order for you to defeat the old one, you have to defeat the other demons first. Which I understand. Okay, that's understandable. But now let's get into a couple of other things. Story's not all that great. I don't think the story is, like, phenomenal. Like, I wouldn't say it's the greatest storytelling of all time, but... it's definitely something worth checking out. You have to pay attention if you want to understand anything. But anyways, this game's not really meant for the story. This is meant for the gameplay. But first we need to get into a couple of other things. Let's get into the character development, because there is a character development. You're allowed to name your character any way you want, be male or female, but there are different classes depending on who you want to be. There's knights, temple knights, wanderers. It depends who you want to be as a starter. But you're allowed to level up your character any way you want. It all depends on what you want to be. In my file, I was a hybrid. I was focused a lot on melee, but I did have magic to back me up in certain situations. Like, they were mainly used to buff my character up, mainly. So, shit, sorry. But they were mainly used to buff my character up And it helped me in certain situations. That's how my character was. But you can level up your character any way you want. You can make him a warrior. You can make him a mage. You can make him a priest. You can make him a hybrid. You can make him a ranger. Any way you want, you can make him. Character development is not all, like, great because there's not a lot of customization since you don't get to choose your armor, weapon, yada, yada, yada. You only get preset items on that class. But then afterwards, you're allowed to equip them with whatever you want as long as you can still carry it. That's what I'm going to get into next. Let's get into the music. There's not a lot of music in this game, to be honest. They don't play, like, music all the time. They usually only play it during boss fights and when you're in the Nexus. But when they do play the music, I think it's pretty symbolic to what's going on. Like, when you were in the Nexus at the start, it felt like a safe place. Like, you would hear this music that just made it feel like, okay, I'm safe here, I can relax, I can get my stuff together, and, you know, yada, yada, yada. But then when you fought a boss fight, they would ramp it up on you. Like, the music will be ramped up depending on the boss, and I like that they had different music for each boss to kind of, like, fit the mood. Like, in, when you're fighting the last boss in the Shrine of Storms, they had, like, this, very calm but astral music. Almost like it was very calming to hear, but at the same time you knew what was going on because it still had some like dramatic beats in there. Or with another boss like the Armored Spider, it would have nothing but like drums and, you know, like drums and concussives and stuff like that because you were inside of a cave and stuff like that. I thought that was good that they chose different music for different situations. Now, well, let's get into the main part, the gameplay. Honest to say, I can agree with it right now. It says it right here. Deep beneath the Nexus, the Old One has awakened. A mighty demon horde pours into Boletaria, devouring the souls of men. Capped upon by a maiden in black, you go forth to lift the curse. Which is true. Like I tried to explain. Now, here's the thing. Revolutionary online play. Leave hints, view the depth of past players, work cooperatively, or invade another player. Yes, see, there's two things in this game. You're either alive in this game or you're in spirit form. When you're alive in this game, you have all your health. And I believe you do more damage. But players can invade you. Invasion means that they can invade your world and attack you and try to kill you. If they kill you, I think they get 3/4 of your souls, I believe. I believe they get 3/4 of your souls. Maybe a little less. And they also take away your human life. So when they kill you, you die, but then they get revived because they killed you. Vice versa. When you're dead, you only have half your health. But if you invade a player and kill them, or kill a demon, you can revive yourself. There are 3 ways to revive you. Well, 4. There are 4 ways to revive yourself. 1. Beat the demon at the end of the level. 2. Help a player beat the demon at the end of the level. 3. Invade a player and kill him. Or 4. Use a stone of ephemeral eyes. Those are the 4 ways to revive yourself. And you can invade anytime you want. You can only invade in spirit form. While you're in human form, you can be invaded. But if you kill someone that's invading you, you get their souls. So it's something to look at. Ever-changing world. Watch the world around you shift according to the actions of you and your fellow players on PlayStation Network. Different enemies, items, and events may trigger, leading to very different consequences. Basically, there's like this thing called soul tendency. So, depending on the soul tendency, different things will happen. When the soul tendency is white, that means the enemies are at their weakest and they don't have the greatest drops, but you can probably rush through that by yourself, even in spirit form. When the soul tendency is black, the enemies are at their toughest, but they give some crazy items to you. But at the same time, it's going to be way, way harder for you to make it through by yourself, which means you're going to have to get a player to help you out. These soul tendencies revolve around the online soul tendency. So, if you have black soul tendency where you live, chances are the person's also going to have black soul tendency where he lives. Now, let's get into the combat. Combat is your standard hack and slash, which is like, it's an action-based RPG. There are many ways to go through combat. As I said, there's mage abilities, there's swords, there's bows, there's crossbows. Any way you want to fight an opponent, you can. But there are different tactics you can fight opponents. One thing I learned is definitely block in this game. Blocking is essential because if you don't block, you're going to get killed. Except with my fist only file, I don't have block, but I do know how to parry. So parry means like, you can actually hit the person with the shield and then finish them off with the sword attack. I think it's called a parry and then a riposte. So basically, like, just like parry the attack. Yes, I use the game as a shield, and then use the water ball as a sword, and then done. 9 times out of 10. There are other moves you could do, like you could roll, which helps you dodge. It depends on where you roll as well. Like, everything is essential. You have to have timing in this game. If your timing's off when you're about to do something, especially fight a boss, you're dead. One mistake, even if you're going to a low-level place to gather items, one mistake, done. Because anything can happen to you. I have some issues with this game. Number one, there's not really a great multiplayer system. The way that this works, the multiplayer, the player has to be 10 levels above you or 10 levels below you, around in that range, in order for them to be summoned to you or for you to be summoned to them. I hate that because there's no voice chat, so, I mean, you can even see, look, no voice chat, so even if you get invited, there's no way you can communicate with the guy except for a few gestures like, hi, or you go, ah, like that, and I don't know why I'm going crazy. But those are the only things you get besides putting messages on the floor, but you can't even put your own messages. It's predetermined message, like, be wary of, and then you put whatever they have set already. Or, beginners should go here, like that. I don't like that. I feel like the multiplayer could have been better. But the single player experience for this game, I liked a lot. I've played this game mainly single player, and when I did get invaded, I ended up beating everyone. That's one other issue. Your chances of invasion and winning are pretty slim in this game. Because 9 times out of 10, when you get invaded or they invaded you, they end up having like a crazy weapon for their level. I don't know how. Here's how it works. In order for you to level up in this game, you need to kill monsters and gather their souls. If you die, you lose all these souls. In order for you to get those souls back, you have to go to your bloodstain and recover them. But if you die on your way to your bloodstain, those souls are lost and you're going to have to start gathering souls all over again. That makes this game difficult to level up. So I could say like people just power level through one area just gathering ore and then get the best weapon possible, which is the blue blood sword. Or another one which I used was the dragon longsword. And if you know, the dragon longsword does fire damage. So even if I hit the shield, I still do fire damage to them, staggering them and putting them on fire. And this causes issue in multiplayer, and this also causes controversy, which is why a lot of people play this game offline. I played it online because I already had these weapons myself, so I was ready for anything, even if a player invaded me. So it wasn't major. What else can I say about this game? There's not a lot to say about this game. It's not like it has like a multiplayer mode itself. It's a main single player / multiplayer experience. It's all in one. It's a very difficult game, I will give it that, but it's a rewarding game. Like, it's not like one of those games like Call of Duty where like you do put the difficulty up and like, ugh, I did all this for nothing because you made a stupid mistake. In this game, when you make a stupid mistake, you're like, okay, I just need to make sure not to make that. And when you finally beat the boss after all the challenge, you're like, yes, I did it. Oh my god, I did it. And you feel accomplished. But then you're always like, oh my god, if this was hard, what's waiting for me next? That's what you usually like a lot of the time. So, it's a rewarding game, but at the same time, it's a rough game. I won't lie on that one. I have to say it right now. This game is freaking awesome. I love this game. It's a great game. It's a great game for anybody that loves hack and slashes. And it's also a good game for those that like a challenge. Because, let's face it, games these days are way too fucking easy. And I'm pretty sure, like, it's true. Games are way too easy these days. And I can bring up quite a few examples that I have right now. Battlefield 3, too easy. Grand Theft Auto 4, too easy. Uncharted 1, On a lower difficulty, too easy. Black Ops, too easy. Saints Row, too easy. All the Call of Duties are too easy. Most of the Uncharted can be difficult if they're on high difficulties. Hell, I've seen a guy beat Call of Duty on the highest difficulty in 5 hours. That pretty much shows you there's no challenge in most of these games. Which is why I like this game. It's a change of pace. I highly praise this game. I think this was probably one of the best games I've played in a long time. It's nowhere near Skyrim, but I do have to take points away for the multiplayer. The multiplayer can get abusive. But it's still a great story, great music, great gameplay. It's hard, but it's rewarding, and it's still a fun game to play. And there's New Game Plus, which means the monsters get even tougher, but you can play through the game all over again and level your character up even higher and fight more players at higher levels, which increases your multiplayer value. I cannot praise this game any higher, but unfortunately, it's not as good as Skyrim. Skyrim I gave a 9.5. This, I'm giving a 9. Yes, this game is a 9. I love this game. Demon's Souls I quit on a while ago because I felt it was too difficult for me, and I'm still tired as hell. But I had fun. I had plenty of fun playing Demon's Souls after I picked it back up. Once I started playing Dark Souls and I started playing Demon's Souls, I was like, okay, this game is way more fun now that I know what I'm doing. When I was playing Demon's Souls the first time, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. What am I doing? I kept asking people, and I finally was like, you know, fuck this. I give up. After I played a bit of Dark Souls, I started understanding, and then when I started Demon's Souls again, I knew what I was doing. So, Demon's Souls, 9 out of 10. Definitely a must-buy. So, this has been Keen947, aka Wolfkeen, with a Wolf's Word. With my first 10 reviews down, I will be doing a top 5, a top 10. Well, a top 5. My top 5 favorite games of the reviews, and my top 5 lowest games of the reviews that I've done. So pay attention for that. This is Keen947, aka Wolfkeen. Catching you all later. See ya.